I'm going to start the broadcast and see what it looks like on the.
All right, hang on a second. Are we at mytv.kaplan.com?
It's tpt.mykaplan.tv. And Woolman can correct me. Woolman, sorry, can correct me. I believe the game code was 530.
Okay.
Anyone on our conference line? How we have to log in to confer.
I'm on the line.
Do we
You're
have
on the line, John? You didn't go in as
Is
a
it this-
leader though, right? No one's gone in as a leader. Russell,
Is it
can you go in as a leader?
Is it the same number as last time? What's the number?
Numbers on the invite. We're the red team.
Michelle,
Dan,
I'm
what's the
enjoying
game
looking
code?
Oh yeah, all right. With the red team.
Michelle, I'm enjoying looking at the books on your shelf.
What is the game code?
Does it make me look smart?
Yes, very much so.
530.
Thank you.
530 for the game code.
You got the art book over your left ear and Jane Smiley's Moo over your left ear and the art book over your right ear. So
Oh my gosh, you can actually see the titles.
that is, and there's a looks like the death of a. Look over your left shoulder. Looks like the Death of a President by William Manchester. Is that up there by the speaker?
No.
No, it looks like that's fine.
Those are all playbills over there.
Oh yeah, I figured they were.
Russell.
Alphabetized. Nobody has OCD, not here, nuh-uh.
Oh golly. Oh gosh.
Oh God, are we gonna get the Fargo? Can we get the Fargo accent throughout the game?
Oh sure, sure if you wanna.
Okay.
I just saw Jonathan Franzen's Freedom was behind you.
Yeah.
I know that one. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, guys.
Bob, you can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it doesn't look like this Hangout is working on YouTube for viewers. The stream is up here in the Hangout itself, but it's not streaming on YouTube, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. But I do have the errors captured, which is good.
You know, Dan, this worked so smoothly last year. I think Adobe or Google rather must have added its ruination feature.
Well, I mean, the big thing that did happen, and not that people want to get bogged down in the back-end stuff, but we upgraded to the G Suite. Well, Google upgraded to the G Suite, and then we did as well. And in doing so, they upgraded how many people could be in a Hangout, but they also depreciated or I don't know the right word, retired a lot of features within Hangouts, which I think is causing some of our issues.
Mm-hmm. Every time I hear upgraded, I roll my eyes.
Yeah. All right.
Well, are we ready? It looks like we've got 3 and 3.
We want to do a buzzer check with Womalin.
Sure.
We can run down each.
Hopefully it'll fall apart now. Go ahead.
All right, so Russell, Okay, John. Rochelle. Jamie. Rhoda. Sorry. Adam. All right. So we're good.
Thank you. So Bob, looks like we're good to go. I will try to see if the stream starts up, but being Mr. Lively's here in this event, I don't know that many will be over on the chat anyway, as he is participating here. But John, hey, I love it. I'm over there all the time waiting for your answers. So, but with that said, Bob, I think you're good to go.
I don't know what any of that meant, but hello, players and spectators alike. We have a TPT match today on May 18th, 2017. The French say plus ça change, plus que la même chose. But some things in this this year's TPT have changed, and some are la même chose. The same thing, we have 60 Jeopardy clues, which don't have to be answered in the form of a question. We have a terrific buzzer, which will indicate who has buzzed in first. I will recognize you, and you will have 3 seconds to unmute and answer. All of that is the same as last time. We have the same policy and steals. If somebody on a team is wrong, then the captain of the other team will be allowed to consult with his team for 10 seconds and say a response or pass. Rochelle is the captain of Always a Bridesmaid. We have a wave, Rochelle. Hello. And Jamie is the captain of Team 26, which I just discovered is half a deck of cards. That's aces with me. Now, what's new this year? This year, there will be no consulting during the regular part of the game. And that's why we try to insist on having a live camera on all of you so we can see that your mouths are not going. Jamie, you are in a frozen still picture. I hope you can fix that, but we will keep teams to their honor. The fact is, there's no consulting because of the biggest new rule, which is each of you may buzz in on a 5-clue category only twice. Only twice. To compensate for this, I will give you a few seconds after I announce the category so that you can quickly chat amongst yourselves and decide who might want to sort of lay out whose specialty. For instance, if the category is football, if you have a real football maven, you might choose to have one person might volunteer to lay out for the first 3 clues so as to be there for the 4th and 5th. We feel that's fair. However, we feel it's also fair if you buzz in a 3rd time on a category, your team will lose those points and the other team will have a free shot. So that's how seriously we take this. We want to get a lot more participation, and so far it's been working out great. Other than that, I don't think there's anything new. If there's something new that I haven't mentioned, I'm sure it'll come up as we go along. We've had more than a few tech glitches in the last couple of days. Not interestingly in the first week, but in the last couple of days we have. But hopefully, knock marble, we will be glitch-free. Oh, now I've jinxed it. But we'll have a good time, I know that, because these are very good clues. You'll really enjoy them. Remember, teams, no consulting except during a steal situation and once I announce the category. Are there any questions? Any issues? Everybody can hear each other. We have Wilma Lynn as the scorekeeper, and we have Dan as our tech maven and research guy in case we have to research any responses. Okay, teams, big smiles, big energy. Jazz hands. No, you don't have to do that. Jazz hands on buzzers for our first category, which is going to be pop music. Now, there's a category that has some strong players and some weaker. Pop music is the category. Okay, for 1 point, everything in this round is 1 to 5 points, increasing in difficulty. For 1 point in pop music, a drawing of a school chum of Julian Lennon inspired this song about a girl with kaleidoscope eyes. A drawing of a school chum, Rhoda? Rhoda, you have to unmute and respond, please. Rhoda seems to be frozen on my screen. Dan?
I don't see Rhoda at all. but I saw her unmute here in the Hangout, so she may be trying to speak and we cannot hear her. It may.
I take total responsibility for this.
Oh, because you made mention of.
Yeah.
So Rhoda, if you can hear me, it might be worth trying to rejoin the Hangout. Bob, if we encounter the similar thing, I may just say to join a regular Hangout. We can get everybody into a regular Hangout, not try to broadcast it, see if the tech is better there.
So Rhoda says she can hear and she's trying to respond, but she's unmuted and she's trying to answer.
Michelle, is it okay with you if we get her response for this
Yes.
one? Go ahead, Adam. What was she going to respond?
She says Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
That was correct. We'll accept that. In the first round, we're always a little bit freer, and we'll owe one to always a bridesmaid. But we're gonna have to do something rad, Dan, if this keeps up, because this is intolerable. Thanks a lot, Google. Okay, everybody all set for pop music for 2? We'll try again. Nice job, Rhoda. You got first blood. Pop music for 2. Their last hit was 1971's Riders on the Storm. Their last hit was 1971's Riders on the Storm.
My buzzer didn't reset.
John,
The Doors.
The Doors is right for 2. We'll try to keep going. We'll try not to go the nuclear option unless we absolutely have to. But I think we're close. Here we go. Pop music for 3, everybody. For those of you watching, if any of you are watching, Rhoda and John have one more opportunity to buzz in for this set of 5.
Hey, Bob, just for a second, sorry to interrupt. My buzzer is not, okay, it is, yeah, sorry. Now it's working.
Do you want to test it out?
Okay, here we go, everybody, for pop music for 3. At the 2009 Grammys, her Still Unforgettable won the award for Best Traditional Pop. Rhoda?
Can I have her answer through mine over the phone?
Yes, but this is getting a little crazy. Go ahead.
Natalie Cole.
The late Natalie Cole, yeah. Dan, we can't do this way. We can't. She's buzzed in twice, which is great. She's been right both times, but we have to go through an interpreter. This is crazy.
Well, the only option I have here within this Hangout is to have Rhoda drop and come back and see if we can then hear her. Otherwise, we can bail to a regular Hangout.
Let's try that first.
Yeah,
Rhoda,
why don't you go out and come back in?
Adam, if you could pass that along if she's not hearing us here within the Hangout for Rhoda to refresh her browser or just simply leave and come back.
She's doing that right now. She heard.
Thank you, Adam.
and I still take full responsibility. It's my fault.
Oh, I blame you, so don't you worry.
This is such a good game too. Oh man.
Don't give up, Bob. It's only 3 questions in.
I know, 2 good teams, and we got great categories. It's really a really good board.
So, Rhoda, I saw you rejoined. I
There
see
she
you.
is.
There she is. There she is.
No, there's an error. Wait, hold on. Can you guys hear me now? Is it
Yes.
better? Okay, good. All right, sorry
Jamie,
about that.
while-
I don't know
while-
what happened.
While we're paused, Jamie, can you come on mic and just make sure we can hear you so we're not running into any issues?
You have to unmute, Jamie.
He did. So Jamie and Russell, do me the favor of rejoining the Hangout. Because I have you guys as black screens. I have a feeling this is all connected.
Why
I
is
just hit refresh. I just hit the refresh.
Yeah,
button.
that's fine. Or refresh or rejoin, whichever. Yeah, that works.
I have Bob as a black screen. Is that weird?
Can you still hear him?
Yes.
Can you still hear me?
I hear you, but I can't see you.
Then you're ahead of the game.
It is. If you click on Bob, is he still a black screen?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie, can you say hello, please?
Hello, anyone
Thank-
can?
Yes, we got you. Russell?
Fantastic.
So basically, my figuring right now, Bob, is that when the error occurs, anybody who does not get kicked out actually has the error on their side of audio canceling. So this may be the fast solution. Russell, can you say hello? I didn't.
Yes, can you hear me?
Excellent. Yep. So I think we should be good to go now. We can hear everybody in the Hangout and should be able to go until it happens again. So
You see Russell? I only see a picture of Russell.
I do not see Russell. I hear Russell.
I see a picture of Russell.
Same.
Russell, can you come on camera?
Russell's on camera. I just can't. I see him moving. I see you moving, Russell.
That's weird. Okay, whatever.
Well, the only upside to this is that Rhoda has now buzzed in twice on this category, so she should just lay out for two more clues. She's too good on this category anyway. Okay, no, I'm teasing, of course. Any of us could have happened to. All right, here we go. Pop music for 4 is where we were. That was the late Natalie Cole, by the way, was the answer to that one. For 4. This Coldplay hit includes the lines, I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. This Coldplay hit includes the lines, I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Five seconds. Time. The song is Viva la Vida. And nobody got that one. That's which strikes me as loca. Okay, here we go with pop music for 5. It can't all be great, though, Rhoda. How can I tell you? Here we go for pop music for 5. Their 1979 album, Breakfast in America, featured, John?
That would be Supertramp.
Supertramp is right. A triple stumper on the show, but not for John. Okay, at the end of one category, we have Always a Bridesmaid 7, Team 26 4. I'm going to stop giving you the score endlessly. I will give you a score wrap-up after every 3 categories, okay? So halfway through, at the end of the round, and we go forward. Okay. Our next category is Vampire Weekend. Vampire Weekend. Okay. Talk about who might be good there. For 1 point in Vampire Weekend, here we go, teams. Found from Mexico to South America, varieties of this mammal include white-winged and hairy-legged. Adam?
The bat.
Vampire bat, I'll take it. For 2 points. I probably would have insisted on vampire bat in the second round, but I will take bat in this round. Vampire Weekend for 2. He is the Muppet vampire on Sesame Street. Rhoda.
The Count?
The Count is right. That's 2 points for Team 26. Scores tied at 7. Vampire Weekend for 3. Vlad the Impaler, an inspiration for Dracula, was a prince in what's now this country. Vlad the Impaler, Jamie.
Hungary.
Incorrect. We take away 3 points. We throw it over to Rochelle, who has 10 seconds to consult with her team. Vlad the Impaler, an inspiration for Dracula, was a prince in what's now this country.
Bob, we're gonna say Romania.
Romania is correct for 3 points. Okay, a little bit of a shift, but still very, very early. For 4 points in Vampire Weekend. Legend says, this is a good one. Legend says that vampires can't cross a threshold unless this has occurred. John?
They have to be invited in.
That's right. They have to be invited in for 4. Okay. And finally, for 5 points in Vampire Weekend, Bram Stoker wrote in Dracula, quote, further and further back he cowered as we advanced holding these. John?
Crosses.
Crosses is right for 5 points. Always a Bridesmaid 19, Team 26 4. Next category is Foo Fighters, with Foo in quotes. Everybody who knows Jeopardy knows that means the letters FOO will appear in every response. Remember, teams, you can buzz in as soon as you want. You don't have to wait for, like Alex, you don't have to wait for me to overpronounce all the French. You can buzz right in whenever you feel like you think you know the answer. Here we go for 1 point in Foo Fighters. It is the North American counterpart of the Yeti. It's the North American counterpart of the Yeti. 5 seconds. Jamie.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, that's the Foo we were looking for. 1 point for Team 26. Foo Fighters, with Foo in quotes, for 2. These were first offered in 1939 to low-income families to help them buy groceries. Rochelle?
Food stamps.
Food stamps is right for 2. Foo Fighters for 3. One of the oldest manufacturers of this type of table game is a Swiss company called Kicker. Adam?
Foosball.
Foosball is right for 3 more points for the blue team. Foo Fighters for 4. Slang for a cop or someone whose arches, John?
Flatfoot.
Flatfoot is correct for 4 points. And finally, for 5, old-timey 10-letter term for the silly behavior exhibited perhaps by Mr. Brokaw. Old-timey 10-letter term, Adam?
Foolhardy.
No, that's incorrect. Have to subtract 5. Rochelle? Old-timey 10-letter term for the silly behavior exhibited perhaps by Mr. Brokaw. Rochelle, answer or pass?
We're going to go with tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery is right. That's correct. Bold move, Adam, and it's better to be bold than not. But in that, we're at the end of the halfway. We're at the halfway point of the first round. Always a bridesmaid 30, team 26 3. Plenty of points left as we go to our next category. One I'm particularly fond of. All American rejects. All American rejects. You'll get the idea. For 1 point in All American Rejects. In DC for the 2009 inauguration, he was told he could not check in early at Blair House. An ex-Aussie prime minister had it. In DC for the 2009 inauguration, he was told he couldn't check in early at Blair House. Jamie?
Joe Biden.
Incorrect. We send it over to Rochelle. In DC for the 2009 inauguration, he was told he couldn't check in early at Blair House. An ex-Aussie prime minister had it. Rochelle?
We're going to go with Barack Obama.
That is right. Yes. The new incoming president stays at the vice president's mansion, Blair House. Jamie, if it's any consolation, and it probably isn't, Joe Biden was a wrong answer on the show as well before somebody came in with Obama. So you're in good company there. Okay, All American Rejects for 2. Here we go. This mustachioed Fox News reporter was kicked out of Iraq in 2003. Adam?
Geraldo Rivera.
That's the guy. He gave out troop positions, so that's why they kicked him out. Okay, here we go. All American Rejects for 3. I'm way fat, but I'm just not there yet, said this Clerks director. Rhoda?
Kevin. Oh, his first name's Kevin.
Time, sorry. I have to throw it over to the other team. I'm way fat, but I'm just not there yet, said this Clerks director after Southwest deplaned him for being overweight.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith was right, yes. Too bad. 3 points. For 4 points in reject. Some general, in quotes, info. This military man died in London on June 14, 1801, unpopular in 2 countries. Some general info. This military man died in London on June 14, 1801, unpopular in 2 countries. John?
Arnold, Benedict Arnold.
That's correct, 4 points. And finally, 5 points in All-American Rejects. In June 2009, this U.S. car company lost its place on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. In June 2009, this, John?
GM.
GM is right, yes. They went very, very badly off the rails in 2009. Okay. Lady Gaga is the next category. Lady Gaga. It's not what you think. For one point. Sarah goes gaga over Maurice, or Morris, in Graham Greene's novel, The End of This. Sarah goes gaga over Morris. Rochelle?
I think it was The End of the Affair.
That's right, The End of the Affair for 1 point.
Wasn't it a movie with Julianne Moore?
It was, and before that, it was a movie with Van Johnson, of all people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, not so good. Okay, here we go for 2 points in Lady Gaga. Tolstoy wrote that this heroine, quote, tried in vain to find some imperfection, unquote, in her lover Vronsky. Tolstoy wrote that this heroine, Rochelle?
Anna Karenina?
Anna Karenina is right for 2 points. She was the Lady Gaga, get it? For 3 points. On holiday in Jamaica, this Terry McMillan title heroine goes gaga over a much younger man. Jamie?
Stella.
Stella, she got her groove back. Very good. 3 points for Team 26. Lady Gaga for 4. The title Lady in this Henry James novel makes the disastrous John?
That Portrait of a Lady.
The disastrous choice of the egotistical Gilbert Osmond. Portrait of a Lady is right for 4 points. And finally, for 5 points in Lady Gaga, Sienna Miller starred in a 2009 stage reworking on Strindberg called After Miss This. Sienna Miller starred in a 2009 stage reworking on Strindberg. John?
Julie.
After Miss Julie is correct for 5 points.
Saw it.
Oh, yes?
I'm just saying I saw the play.
Oh, you did? Did you like it?
Eh,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Okay, here we go. Thank you very
We're
much.
very discriminating at Kaplan.
We certainly are. Oh, you're going to have more opportunities to discriminate in the next round. But first, let's get through this last category in the first round. Jonah's druthers. Jonah's druthers. This one is what you think. For 1 point. Aboard ship in a storm, the men cast these items of chance. Jonah's came up, but he'd rather it didn't. Aboard ship in a storm, the men cast, in quotes, these items of chance. Jonah's name came up. Adam?
Dice.
Not right. Rochelle's team. Aboard ship in a storm, the men cast these items of chance. Jonah's came up, but he'd rather it didn't.
They cast lots.
Lots is what they cast for 1 point. Okay, for 2 points in Jonah's druthers. Jonah places a high priority on accuracy. He is not swallowed by a whale, but rather a great this. Jonah places a high priority on accuracy. He is not swallowed by a whale, but rather a great this. Rochelle?
Great mammal.
Incorrect. Take away 2 points. Jamie, Jonah places a high priority on accuracy. He is not swallowed by a whale, but rather a great, in quotes, this. The team is consulting and has 10 seconds to pass or give a response. That's my golf voice.
We'll respond.
Go ahead.
Great white shark.
Sorry, got to take away 2 points there. No harm, no foul. No, I learned this from Inherit the Wind. In the Bible, it's called a great fish. A great fish. A great fish. Okay. All right, for 3 points. Like Hosea and Malachi, Jonah is delighted to be considered a minor one of these biblical speakers. Like Hosea, Rhoda?
Prophet.
Minor prophet is right for 3 points. For 4 points. After having preached, Jonah is oddly irked that the city's people do this, from the Latin for feel sorrow again. After having, John?
Repent.
Repent, yes. He's annoyed that they repented. That's 4 points. Finally, 5 points in Jonah's druthers. Though God asks him to go to this Assyrian city and speak to the people, Jonah, John?
Nineveh.
Nineveh shuns the command, not since Nineveh. The end of our first round. Bit of a blowout so far. Always a Bridesmaid 63, Team 26-4. As I always say, the points are doubled, and everything could really change in the second half. There's a lot of points left over. There's never any money in the first round. Of course, there's never any money in our first round at all, except a little babka, which still hasn't arrived at my doorstep, Cabal leader. Okay, our first category for the 2 to 10 point round is science and nature. Science and nature. Okay, for 2 points. Phytology is another name for this, the study of plants. Phytology is another name for this, the study of plants. Rhoda?
Botany.
Botany is right. Right out of the box, 2 points for Team 26. For 4 points. It's the color of malachite, a mineral from which copper is obtained. It's the color of malachite, a mineral from which copper is obtained. Rochelle?
Red.
Incorrect. Subtract 4 points. Jamie, you and your team can try or pass. It's the color of malachite, a mineral from which copper is obtained. They're consulting on the color of.
We'll answer, Bob.
Go ahead.
Green.
It is green. That's a flipping of points. And we go on to science and nature for 6. The Bessemer process, developed in the 1850s, was a cheap way to convert pig iron to this. The Bessemer, Jamie?
Steel.
Steel is right for 6 points. And by the way, since Jamie is the captain, his stealing in the previous question does not count as a buzzing. He's still allowed to buzz twice. If he's already buzzed twice, I'll just shut up. He knows by now. Everybody knows by now. Only buzz twice per category. Science and nature for 8 points. Heat travels by 3 main methods: conduction, convection, and this. Heat travels by 3 main methods: conduction, convection, and this. John? Can I hear you?
Sorry, radiation.
Radiation is right for 8 points. Radiation is the third. I always thought it was planes, trains, and automobiles, but what do I know? Finally, here we go for 10 points in science and nature. Mosquitoes of this genus are the only ones that carry malaria. Mosquitoes of this genus, John?
Anopheles.
Anopheles mosquito, a triple stumper on the show, but not here. Okay, we go on to our next 2 through 10 category. These are fairly brief clues, teams, so be ready to jump on it. The category, Oscar in their film debuts. Oscar in their film debuts. For 2 points. Best Actress for Mary Poppins, 1964. Rochelle.
Julie Andrews.
Yes, she was not egregiously overlooked that year, but Audrey Hepburn was. For 4 points. Oscar in their film debuts. Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon, 1973. Rochelle.
That was Tatum O'Neal.
It was, and Rochelle is out for this category, except to perhaps consult, since she's the captain, if anybody's wrong. Here we go for 6 points. Oscar in their film debuts. Best Supporting Actress for The Piano, 1993. Rhoda.
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin is right for 6 points. Oscar and their film debuts for 8. Best Actress for Children of a Lesser God, 1986. John?
Marley Maitland.
We don't go by pronunciation. Marley Matlin, but the spelling would be the same. Marley Matlin is correct for 8 points. That was a triple stumper on the show. And finally, for 10 points, Best Supporting Actress for On the Waterfront, 1954. John?
Eva Marie Saint.
Yes, and a lovely person, by the way. I've met her many, many times. Eva Marie Saint is correct for 10 points. Okay. The next category is pretty straightforward. In which Canadian province? In which Canadian province? We know Alex loves Canada. For 2 points. The 9 o'clock gun, which booms every evening to let Vancouver's citizens set their watches. Russell?
British Columbia.
Is correct. British Columbia for 2 points. In which Canadian province are the TD Centre and its 21,000 office? Jamie?
Ontario.
Ontario. There are 21,000 office workers. That's 4 points. In which Canadian province for 6 points? Inverness on Cape Breton Island. Inverness on Cape Breton Island. John?
Newfoundland.
Incorrect. We subtract 6 points. We go over to Jamie and Team 26. Inverness on Cape Breton Island.
Bob
Jamie?
Wilson.
Go ahead.
Prince Edward.
That's incorrect too. I have to subtract. No, it is Nova Scotia. Or if Sylvester were playing, Nova Scotia. But no harm, no foul. Everybody drops back 6 points. For 8 points, in which Canadian province? Banff National Park. Banff National Park. Time. Banff National Park is in Alberta. Alberta. And finally, for 10 points, in which Canadian province? The Leacock Building at McGill University. The Leacock Building. Jamie?
Quebec.
Quebec is right for 10 points. At the end of the first half of the second round, Team 26 coming back 30. Always a bridesmaid, still strong at 97. 97 to 30. Our next category, whimsically titled Measure This, Trebek, is of course an allusion to Will Ferrell's Sean Connery impression on SNL. Measure This, Trebek, for 2 points. An odometer is used to measure, Rhoda?
Mileage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to. That's my mistake. I'm going to throw in a surprise substitution. Surprise substitution. La 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 la. I misread it, Rhoda. It's oometer. O-O-M-E-T-E-R. It's used to measure the size of eggs. But that's my mistake. I read odometer. It's oometer. So we will simply go to I won't sing it again, surprise substitution. And the surprise substitution will be in, okay, high, H-Y in quotes, 5. High, H-Y in quotes, 5. Okay, for 2 points. Mark my words, it often connects parts of a compound word. Rochelle?
A hyphen.
Hyphen is right, and that's 2 points for always a bridesmaid. Okay, my mistake, apologies there, but we're back on track with Measure This, Trebek. Boy, I got that right when I was practicing. Okay, for 4 points. Used to measure length, mass, and time, the fundamental units of the MKS system are the meter, the kilogram, and this. Used to measure length, mass, and time. Rhoda?
Second.
Second is right for 4 points. Very good for Team 26. And by the Rhoda, your first buzz would not count because that was so we throw that out. But Rochelle's would because we had a surprise substitution. Okay, here we go. For measure this, Trebek, for 6 points. Sailors can use a basic sextant to measure this at local noon, then check navigation tables to calculate latitude. Sailors can use a basic sextant. Adam?
Longitude?
No, that's incorrect. It's a tricky one. I'll repeat it for Always a Bridesmaid. Sailors can use a basic sextant to measure this at local noon, then check navigation tables to calculate latitude. Rochelle?
We're going to pass.
Okay, well, Adam, that was the wrong answer on the show. It was a triple stumper on the show. The correct answer is, at local noon, the sextant measures the altitude of the sun. The altitude of the sun. That's what it measures. Okay, so we went exactly true to form. Here we go with 8 points in Measure This, Trebek. 8-letter word for the level of NaCl in your solution. 8-letter word. Rhoda?
Salinity?
Salinity is right. That's 8 points for Team 26. And finally, for 10 points in Measure This, Trebek. It's not a pig cranium. It's a unit of measure. John?
Hogshead.
Right. Equal to how many gallons?
65?
Nah, 63. But we're not going to take away 8 points. Hogshead was correct. Okay. I was pretty close, though. 63. All right, here we go. Flyboys is our next category in the second round. Flyboys for 2 points. I didn't know it was 63. I have it here on the card. Flyboys for 2. In 1915, Adolphe Pégu became one of the first to be called this after shooting down 5 aircraft. In 1915, Adolphe Pégu became one of the first to be called this after shooting down, Jamie?
An ace.
I'll take it. Flying Ace is correct because Flyboys is in the category. Flying Ace is right for 2 points. Flyboys for 4. In July 1957, this Marine made the first supersonic transcontinental flight. Less than 5 years later, he went into orbit. In July 1957, this Marine made the first supersonic transcontinental flight. Less than 5 years later, he went into orbit. 5 seconds. Time. The late John Glenn is what we were looking for. John Glenn. Okay, for 6 points in Flyboys. Animal named planes developed by this British aviation pioneer include the pup, the dolphin, and the camel. Animal named planes developed by this British aviation pioneer include the pup. Rhoda?
Sopwith?
Sopwith camel, sure. That's why they put it last.
From Snoopy. That's how I know that.
Snoopy, no to Sopwith camel. Well done, Rhoda. Okay, but you're out of this category. Here we go for 8 points. In 1919, 3 years after founding his Seattle-based company, he flew the first international, John?
Boeing. I used to work in that industry.
Boeing is correct. The first international mail delivery, Canada, the United States. I presume one has to know that if one works there or you get drummed out or something.
Well, I didn't work at Boeing, but I worked with their competitors.
I see. Okay. Here we go for Flyboys for 10. The Black Sheep Squadron just called him Gramps. The Pappy nickname came from the press. John?
Boyington.
Pappy Boyington is correct. The triple stumper on the show, but no impediment to John. So we have Always a Bridesmaid 127, Team 2644 for our final category, which is going to be Round It Off. Round It Off. I will give you something Please round it off to the nearest integer. See, I thought this would be good to end the game with. Round it off to the nearest integer. For 2 points, pi. Pi. Russell.
Oh, 3.
3 is right. Put all that time and money and attention into Pi Day. I should hope somebody would get that.
Can I tell you, I had a feeling that was going to be the very first question, so I had my finger on the buzzer. I was prepared for that one.
Adam is
And then
saying,
I'm going to sit out the rest of the category.
okay. Well, no, you have one more buzzer if you want it. Here we go. Round it off for 4. A marathon in miles. A marathon in miles. Rhoda
26.
is right. 26. Round it off for 6 points. I love this category. Tropic of Cancer in degrees north latitude. Tropic of Cancer in degrees north latitude. 5 seconds. Time. The answer is 23. 23. Don't ask me what the unrounded number is because I don't know. Okay, here we go. Round it off for 8 points. The circumference of the Earth in thousands of miles. The circumference of the Earth in thousands of miles. 5 seconds. Time. It's 25,000. You know, darn it, I meant to look up all the exact numbers, but then we would have gotten stuck on the first clue with pi, and we would never get out of here. Finally, for 10 points, our final clue in the game. Round it off to the nearest integer. Absolute 0 in Celsius. Rhoda?
Negative 256.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Sorry. Take away 10 points. Rochelle, you and your group want to try it? Absolute 0 in Celsius.
That was Fahrenheit.
John's telling me I don't know. I don't want to pretend like I know. Minus 273.
Minus 273 is correct. And with that, we have Always a Bridesmaid 139, Team 26 38. Certainly a blowout, but every team is delightful and every team gets 2 shots. So Team 26 will be back, and Always a Bridesmaid, true to its name, will be back too. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Dan and Wimelin, for whatever magic you conjured up. You know, as the old Indian says in Little Big Man, sometimes the magic works, sometimes it doesn't. But today it worked, so thank you to both of you for your great support on the side. Thank you, teams. You were terrific as always. We'll see you again here on the TPT.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Dan.